Because they call you the Iceman because you like notoriously like really nobody was able to get you into that state of mind, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Where do you think that comes from? That you just kind of always had this sort of stoic demeanor about these confrontations?
It's one of those things. I think I've had it about everything. Like when I was like tests in school, like I was one of the people I study real hard. As soon as I closed my book, I'd relax, just take the test. And so when you relax, taking a test, you do a lot better than when you're stressed the whole time because you're overthinking things and overthinking answers. And so for me, like as long as I did everything I had to do to get ready for a fight, and even if I felt like everything didn't go perfect before the fight, when training camp was over, the fight's done. It's done. And worrying about it's over.
Right.
Worrying about it's not going to do me any good this week. And nothing, and it's not gonna. I'm not gonna get any better in better shape. I'm not gonna get any better. So we're just gonna be prepared and go out there and have fun. I like fighting. I love what I'm doing. I get paid to do what I love. So now I get to go out and get paid for all this stuff. All this work I put in.
Was there ever a fight where you felt like the most likely result was that you were going to lose, and did that change your feeling at all? I never thought I was going to lose. I tell you, after getting knocked out, I'll be in the back room. Damn it! I know what I did wrong. Can we go back out and start over? Let's start over. I can do this. Right.
I know I can beat this guy.
Damn. Okay.
That was always the way.
Was there ever a time though where like the betting odds, which obviously those are very like out in the open now, but where like you realized that the consensus of the media or whatever was that you were probably going to lose this fight, and did that ever affect you?
No. I think the first time I knew the odds for my fight, I think I was a 5-1 under. I don't know if that was by knockout. It might have been by knockout, but 5-1 against Riddell. When he came down, he was a heavyweight champ, and he came down light heavyweight. He was supposed to, and I was like the pre-fight to him fighting. The winner of our fight was supposed to fight Tito,
right?
And for the title, I had that wrapped up. If he, I didn't think he was going to take me down, but if he did, I thought I could get back up and get out and make him tired.
Right. So you just didn't really worry about it. That's one thing I realized in the getting ready for this interview is that still after all this time, I look at Tito Ortiz like somebody that I really genuinely do not like, because you and the UFC did such a good job as painting him as this sort of pretty boy, pompous villain.
He made it real easy.
Right.
He really did.
Right.
And, and look, I don't hate the guy. I don't think a lot of people say he's changed. He's got a different personality now. He's grown up and done that stuff. But that's not the guy I remember. And the guy I remember, I did not like at all. I didn't like the way he carried himself outside the ring. I don't care like where he treated people, and he wasn't a man of his word at the time.
So it was easy to present him in that light.
It made it real easy, and I didn't like him.
Do you think you would have been able to do the acting if it was somebody who you actually had respect for and didn't think that they were a bad guy? But if the UFC had come to you and said, "Listen, this is how we can really sell this thing."
They used to come to me and try to get me. It was funny how they do things, because they do things and try to get me to say things, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I don't feel that way. I don't do that. I remember Babalu got to call him mad because they showed him a clip of our interview, right? And what they used, I think, was me saying that I made him famous by not kicking him in the face, but they cut out the before and after what I said. Right. I said was, this guy's had 10 straight wins before me and 10 straight wins after me. And the only thing everybody ever sees is him getting kicked in the face by me. And I was saying how good a fighter he was. Right. I wasn't saying it, but he was pissed off. I disrespected him, talking shit like that. Like, I'm like, that's not what I was saying, because but they played that highlight reel all the time after that, and before he got the rematch. Yeah, and then like the reality doesn't really matter. It's like whatever is being presented out to the world is way more powerful. Me and him are cool. Like we're cool now. But like when he first got that, they said he threw his chair like at the interview, and he went nuts. I thought I was disrespecting him like that. Like he was pissed off, and it's crazy. That's hilarious. Okay, this is a hip hop centric podcast. Have you
had any encounters with rappers over the years, either as fans or running into them in nightclubs or anything like that? I feel like there's got to be some funny rapper stories that you've got stored up in your brain from over the years.
Oh man, I wish you'd warned me on that. Too Short I've known for a while. Like he's
great guy, yeah,
great guy. Love Too Short. He's awesome. I don't know if I want to tell any of those stories. Huh?
No, there's like a few floating around in your brain. Though, like I don't know if I should tell that.
Yeah. Good times though. Who's what's his name? God, I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name right now. I was at a Super Bowl party and he was at our table and I was around and we were at the same table and his security is my personal trainer was there with him too, and he's sitting there. Why can't I can picture him. I can't draw a blank on his name. But his security guy talking to me, so excited to see me. He's grabbing me, and like I'm sitting there, and I'm just there. And he's like, "Hey, you want me to get him out of here? Like, do you want me to?" No, he's fine. We're cool. I'm not worried. I'm gonna get upset.
Right.
Like, but God, I'm gonna remember his name when we get off this thing, and I'm gonna tell you.
We'll put a little asterisk on the screen.
I'll remember. I'll send it to you, but
for sure.
But no, I've met a lot of guys. I got.
Because I don't know how much you know this, but your name has been in a ton of famous rap songs over the years. And I was trying to find like examples that were worth bringing up, but like almost every single one of them is basically like the same joke. It's either like, you know, I'll beat the pussy up like Chuck Liddell, or this gun kick like Chuck Liddell. It's just like they were all so boring. When I was looking through them, I'm like, I'm not even gonna write any of these down because they're just so like not creative. Yeah.
No, that's funny. Yeah, no. I mean, I met a lot of guys, a lot of fans, guys are fans, and it's been great. You know, guys that I like watching. So you know, it's kind of cool.
Definitely.
I saw Ice Cube at a show. That was fun. There's when I saw him in the back.
Definitely. Yeah. We also interview a lot of porn stars, and that kind of just occurred to me. It's like, you know, I wouldn't be too surprised if Chuck had spent some time with some adult stars over the years.
Here and there. Here and there. Yeah. Yeah. Not. I remember one. Oh, you know, that's one was a fun. I can't. I'm trying to blank on the name right now, but what was her name? It's on. If you look it up, it's on online. I had somebody saying like trying to say that I was somebody's like I dated somebody's son, like because his name was the same as the porn star.
Oh wow!
I'm like, my buddy sent me that. I mean, they're saying this. I'm like, they're idiots.
That's your one and only gay rumor.
Yeah, that was one. I'm all guys. They're idiots. That's
wow.
That's his the same name as. It's kind of funny. I'm looking at his son's name after a female porn star.
Wow.
It was funny.
Wow, that's funny. You ever? My girl said last night. Like I got home last night at like 11. She said, why don't you shave your head like Chuck Liddell for doing the interview? And I was like, fuck, if I had thought of that like 5 or 6 hours ago, I might have done it. I just really didn't want to shave my head at 11 p.m. But I was wondering, like, have you ever...
That's always a bad choice. Those
late night haircut ideas?
Haircut ideas, yeah. Let me see if we can do this.
Have you ever let it go? And like, is there part of you that wants to just not... Because I feel like you would be like so much less recognizable that like the haircut somehow just makes it like unbelievably easy.
Yeah, well, it makes it easier. Like, and you know, then I have the tattoo too. So because people that don't know me really well, they'll be like, "Oh man, that looks like him."
Right.
I can see people like this.
I'm guilty of that too. I'll be looking at somebody in the airport, Googling like who I think they look like, trying to make sure it's them before I say anything to them.
Yeah. But I get it. But you know, I mean, if I do cut it out, like I've done it a couple times for stuff, and it makes it a little less. But I mean, I don't dislike fan interaction, so I don't know that I need to. And then if I have enough events where like, or if I need to film something, people like if I show up without my mohawk, I mean, obviously it's not required, but if I show up without, they're like, "Oh man, you didn't have your mohawk."
Yeah.
Although a few times I've done that for appearances and stuff, they were kind of bummed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Sorry, I have a movie. I'm going out for this, or I had to do this for a minute. Sorry."
You never got a hair transplant or anything?
No.
Okay. Because it's like at a certain point, maybe you would have to in order to keep it going.
Well, if it got to that point, I think I have to go bald or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just saw the clip, but did you know that you can watch this entire interview right now before it's released to the public, uncensored, by becoming a member for just $5 a month, and there's a lot of other crazy benefits as well. So make sure you hit the link down in the description and sign up. Appreciate y'all.